Tamar Braxton and J.R. Robinson calling it quits nearly a year after getting engaged on Queen's Court.
Car Braxton and Jer Robinson tapping out almost a year subsequent to getting connected on Sovereign's Court. I have done a ton to chip away at my emotional wellness and change who I used to be into who I'm presently, and I can't help assuming that individuals fall into that discernment, since it's simple, apparently the romantic tale between Tamar Braxton and Jeremy Robinson has gotten into a serious difficult situation. As a matter of fact, it resembles a great finale where the game is finished, and not positively Jeremy, her now ex, chose to end things with her suddenly, very much like you'd throw away a hot potato that is ridiculously hot. Yet that is only the starting. Jeremy didn't stop at separating. No, he chose to spill the tea on what truly went down between them. It resembles he's opened a Pandora's crate of privileged insights and is doling out all within data so that everybody might see. This dramatization is extreme to such an extent that it resembles a harmful mixture working up interest and prattle all over. Individuals can't resist the urge to clutch their seats and cell phones, since this is one tattle train you won't have any desire to miss. Tamar and Jeremy's relationship was a thrill ride from the start, loaded up with more show than a daytime drama. As a matter of fact, any reasonable person would agree that most people could not have possibly been stunned in the event that things had gone south, as opposed to being surprised by the actual separation. Now, on the off chance that you're asking why everybody felt quite skeptical about this relationship, you better stay tuned till the finish of this video, since what might be said about's to unfurl is out and out marvelous. Trust me, you're in for a wild ride. I love you, Tamar. Leave will you wed me? So the justification for why individuals had so little expect Tamar and Jeremy's relationship is on the grounds that the two of them have a background marked by muddled connections. Let me give you the lowdown on their past affection experiences. Tamar's relationship history is very muddled. She's been hitched 2 times. The twice it finished in a not so lovely manner. Her most memorable marriage was to a man named Daryl Albee, and it essentially endured a year prior to she chose to tap out and seek legal separation. Then she went after marriage with Vincent Herbert, and they even had a child together. Yet after around 9 years, that marriage likewise hit the stones. It got so chaotic that Tamar made allegations of abusive behavior at home against Vincent, and she even got a limiting request anyway. After some time, they chose to make peace and spotlight on co-nurturing their child. Genially, after her separation, Tamar began dating a person named David, a defoe. Yet that relationship wasn't intended to endure either. Things took a dim turn when a trailer for her unscripted TV drama, Get Your Life, deceived her in a terrible light, causing an enormous battle among her and David. This tragically prompted Tamar going to drinking and drug as a method for adapting. You can presumably think about where that way as a rule leads in the end. Tamar consented to look for help and looked into an emotional wellness office. Yet on the way there, they got into a warmed contention, and that eventually prompted their separation. To make things significantly more sensational, David blamed Tamar for homegrown abuse. I'll talk reality. And here's reality. I've been a survivor of abusive behavior at home. Homegrown attack. I was gone after. So when you have a set of experiences like that in the relationship division, it's no big surprise why individuals felt a little unsure about tomorrow. In Jeremy's romantic tale, it resembles a ceaseless adventure of promising and less promising times, and it has every one of the components of a grasping drama. Well, after all the dramatization and untidiness of her past relationship, Tamar concluded the time had come to zero in on herself and enjoy some time off from the entire dating scene. It appeared as though she was on a way to self-disclosure and development, and that is something many individuals were pulling for. Yet, as is commonly said, the heart needs what it needs. That time of self-reflection didn't keep going extremely lengthy. However, only a couple of months down the line, Tamar veered off in an unexpected direction by joining the dating show Sovereign's Court. It was on this show that she encountered Jeremy Robinson in flashes. Flew quickly, their association was solid to such an extent that only 10 episodes later, Jeremy got down on one knee and popped the central issue, obviously Tamar couldn't avoid, and said a reverberating yes, I will be your better half here, wow. I'm here perpetually, 'cause I don't see my existence without you, so getting connected, after a couple of long stretches of dating, is now a piece on the wild side. Yet when you investigate Tamar's set of experiences of connections, it goes from eyebrow-raising to genuinely concerning, and assuming that you believe that was a ton to process, hold on, until you catch wind of Jeremy's experience, which is an unheard of degree of tumultuous. You see, Jeremy didn't come into this relationship with a fresh start, known as realize he came pressing a weighty stuff to begin. He previously had 5 youngsters prior to meeting Tamara. Now that probably won't be the greatest issue. Yet here's where it gets muddled. He has 5 children with 4 different child moms. Yes, you read that, right, 4 distinct moms for his kids, yet the dramatization doesn't stop there. These child mothers and Jeremy have had their reasonable portion of public conflicts via virtual entertainment. They've called him out for being a tricky child daddy, and one of them even spilled the tea about him. She guaranteed that Jeremy feels weak at the knees over individuals of color, to where he alludes to himself as light-skinned white chocolate and calls himself the minority inside the minority. She blamed him for regularly visiting clubs, focusing on individuals of color, and being racially obtuse, womanizing, and debasing. She additionally blamed him for attempting to colonize and satisfy a fixation for biracial children to squeeze into the African American population charm. It's a ton to take in, so with this pressure and dramatization among Jeremy and his child mother, it resembled a ticking delayed bomb standing by to go off. And think about what it in the end detonated. Tamar made a birthday post spouting about her relationship and her mixed family with Jeremy, yet one of Jeremy's child mothers didn't warmly embrace it and hauled Tor for rottenness, saying, let me get straight to the point as far as who might be aware me. And all who know them, this lady is not the slightest bit a reward, or step 'em to my child doesn't mean the world to her. And she has not expressed gratitude toward God for myself. And honestly, none of his child mothers. She has said disparaging, rude, and silly things about how I have decided to co-parent with my child's dad, and the endeavors I have made to keep him included. She has put forth no attempt to meet me, get to know me as a lady or mother, and has made my child's dad miss appearance ends of the week and birthday events. In spite of their endeavors to depict a cheerful couple, it turned out to be really clear that there was a ton of dramatization hiding in the background anyway. To give Jeremy some credit, he attempted to guard Tamar. He shouted out about how Tamar Braxton is an astounding mother who gives his youngsters love and recognition, the moms of his different youngsters for being phenomenal too. He underlined that occasionally errors and contrasts of assessment can twisting into a terrible cycle, and expressed the craving for harmony, yet as we as a whole realize talk is cheap, and 2 or after 3 months, Tamar dropped a stunner via online entertainment. She erased all photos of her and Jeremy from her Instagram, starting prompt bits of gossip about a separation. Really, this was a separation that surprised totally no one. It was more an issue of when it would occur than if it would happen. We could recognize the inevitable from a long ways off. Jeremy at last took to Instagram to authoritatively report the separation he began, with an obscure assertion expressing that there were many inquiries and suspicions. Yet he affirmed that he and Tamar were as of now not together. He communicated his aim to zero in on good energy and improving as an individual. He didn't delve into insights regarding what turned out badly, expressing that it was a confidential matter. Jeremy additionally explained that he hadn't cheated and wasn't around when Tamar's vehicle was burglarized at her mom's place. He underscored that he'd never been after popularity, and that he turned down the potential chance to join Sovereign's court a few times before at long last giving And he additionally referenced that he had fallen head over heels, yet things didn't end the way that he had trusted now. Here's where it gets fascinating, insiders spilled the on the genuine purpose for the separation, as per a source, Jeremy chose to end things with Tamar on the grounds that he viewed her as temperamental, and he was unable to deal with the steady dramatization any longer. He basically felt that it was each of the all in all too much for himself, and he needed out fans as expected ringed in with their viewpoints via virtual entertainment. Some felt that Tamar had a history of being extra depleting and pessimistic, while others accepted that Jeremy was attempting to paint her as the antagonist to hide any hint of failure. It's an exemplary he said, she said circumstance, so people, that is the most recent update on this sensational relationship adventure. What is your perspective? Do you think Tamar is actually the issue? Or is Jeremy attempting to make her look awful sound off in the remarks? And keeping in mind that we hang tight for additional updates, make a point to watch this next video.